Hi there, Pride Plant Girl here. Today I thought we'd put together a pretty hanging basket, or it could just be a centerpiece on an outdoor table for decorating for the holidays. What I'm starting out with is this hanging basket, and I'm just repurposing it. It's very nice. It's bright red color, which is great for the holidays, and it has the hanger, which I've just detached from it for right now, so it's out of my way, but it easily just pops back on later when I'm ready to hang it. I'll also be using greenery, so I still have lots of greenery left over. If you saw my front door decorating video, then you saw I had a lot of greenery that I'd cut from my parents' farm, and a little bit that I had purchased as well. Mostly what's left now is just the bits from the farm, and I have a few things that I've trimmed out of my pine trees in my own yard. So we'll be using lots of that for greenery and filling. And then I've just grabbed some little bits and bobs. Unfortunately, I don't have nice bright red berries. It's something I'm hoping to fix next year, but for now I'm just going to rely on these purchased artificial berry picks. So I have some of these, and I have a few stems as well. Some of these are from my own trees, and some of them I purchased just to give some colorful twigs. This in the back here is paper-coated fake birch, so I won't be using that in these containers since they'll be outside, but the rest is all fine to be outside. I also grabbed a pretty little bow in case I decide that would be something nice to put in there. And I have some pine cones here. Some of these have been purchased, some have been just scavenged, and I thought I might wind up putting them on a skewer or just setting them in the arrangement. So we'll just see if I decide I want these in there and how I want them once the container starts to come together. And then I purchased this little solar light. So this is just a little solar stake that you would have for in your yard. I picked this up quite inexpensively, and you can just turn it on and hopefully it works, and it should light. And then it should light up the arrangement. I don't know how well you can see it, but when I put my hand over the solar panel, the little light lights up in there. I thought that would just bring a little glow from inside the pot, and I thought the silver will look nice as well. And the glass might even catch a bit of sunshine during the day. So we'll see how that works out. And these are these come with these stakes. I'm not sure if I'll actually need the stake, but it would just come and hook in like that if I needed. Otherwise, I'll just leave it in its packaging mode here and just stick it in that like that, because I don't want it sticking way out of the planter. So we'll see what I wind up using out of all of these things. But right now, I'm just going to get this put together. I'm going to fill this pot with soil. I brought a jug of water out here. I'll just put a little bit of water in the soil just to moisten it, so that once this all goes outside, it will freeze. It's not because the greens or anything need the moisture, just because then it will freeze and everything will stay in place where it needs to be. So I'm just going to fill this up with a little bit of soil. You could reuse potting soil from other containers that you've had out in the yard already. Mine is just all frozen, so I'm going to use some that I have here in the greenhouse that's not completely frozen yet. Okay, so I have my soil in my planter here, and you see I didn't fill it right to the top. I don't need a lot, just enough to have something to hold the branches. And I'm just going to put just a little bit of moisture in. Some of the soil is still a little bit frozen. I forgot to mention, but I do have a couple pairs of clippers and snips and things out here too, in case I need to trim down the branches. And I'm going to be wearing gloves because branches are pokey and sappy, and I don't want that on me. So I'm just going to be taking the branches, and how you do it is really up to you. I'm going to play with it a little bit, but I'm thinking I'm going to kind of go out kind of ringing around, similar to how I do my pots at the front door. But you could also do a much more upright planter and just stand them in and do layers in. You might want to start then with the taller things on the inside and work your way out to lower items. But with the item, that would work really nice, especially if you had a real nice variation of greens that could give you some variegation in color and texture and form. I'm working with a lot of these same branches here, not a lot of difference in what I'm going to be using. So I think just making almost like a nice kind of nest and then layering some of the pretty things on top will give me a nicer effect for what I'm working with today. But what you're working with might dictate that you do something different. Or if you have some nice cedar branches, you might want something that's really drapey, and that would be beautiful as well. So like I said, I'm just going to kind of go around and just try and get them almost laying in, almost hanging over the edges. And some of these branches aren't real full, but as I layer it in, they'll just keep getting fuller. Now this one has kind of a natural bend to the stem, so I'm going to put it this way so that it hangs over the pot and hangs down naturally. You can see that one there hanging down. And that'll help to give that kind of flow and texture that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to keep playing around and working with it, and I'll show it to you when I'm done. There, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think it looks really beautiful. The red pot, I think, makes a huge difference. But I think even with a different colored pot, maybe you just want to add more embellishments, maybe have some ribbons hanging over the sides or something. Or like I said, just more drapey greenery. I did find a little bit of cedar left in my buckets, so I used a little bit of that. And I tried to use a variation of the blue spruce and the green spruce, and I had just a little bit of some pine to put in as well, and I think that makes a nice little bit of contrast. I put in 3 pine cones that I just wired to some skewers, and I just wired some little tips of the spruce branches to the top just to try and hide the skewer a little bit, and then 3 of these faux berry picks, and I think that really just brings a little bit of extra color to the arrangement. I put that light down in the center. It's a little bit higher than I would have liked, but that's how big the pot is, so I guess that's how it's going to work. But I think with putting the pine up around it kind of hides the light in there, but you'll still hopefully get that little bit of a glow of light out of it. And like I said, the sun during the day should kind of reflect off of it a little bit and just bring that little bit of interest as well. And then the hanger is still here. Can still hook it on here. Hang it up if you want to hang it somewhere. If you have some hooks that you usually have on your deck or your patio, around your deck or your patio or somewhere that you usually have baskets of annuals in, this would be something beautiful to put there, or a hanger by your front door that you normally hang something on. This is a nice seasonal thing that you can have out in the winter. I had brought this ribbon out. I'd kind of thought about putting it, you know, on the hanger. And, you know, that might be nice for just presentation, you know, if I had fluffed it up and made it pretty. But I don't think it's needed for the arrangement, and I think it just kind of makes it not as nice. I'd also thought about, you know, having it off the side somewhere, but I just don't think it's needed for what I'm looking for. But it is an idea that you could try if that's something that you're looking for with your arrangement. But I'm happy with how this turned out. Hopefully you found this interesting and maybe even inspiring, so you want to go out and collect some greenery and make a planter basket of your own. If you want to see some other videos of different things I've done with greens over the years, I'll try and put some links in the description and up above here, and check out those and see what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, just hit that little subscribe button so you keep coming back. I garden in Saskatchewan, Canada, and so over the winter you'll see me doing a lot of indoor gardening projects and things like this. In the spring, summer, and fall, I am in full garden mode out in my yard, growing vegetables and flowers, cut flowers, and always have something new and interesting for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.